Texas Bank and Trust.
Tonight, we're talking about medical debt. It's a struggle for millions of Americans. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau issued new regulations at the start of this year, but the fate of this agency and its regulations are now uncertain. Laura Painter spoke with a financial expert about what's at stake.
Supporters of the change have called it life-changing. How so?
Indeed, your credit report, is that report card that shows financial institutions, lenders, anyone that's going to give you money. This is why it's your report card to prove I'm good for it.
Credit reports are critical to financing many aspects of American life, like owning a home, a car, or starting a business. But for the millions of Americans with medical debt, reaching those goals could be harder.
Medical debt has been getting in the way of folks getting approved for financing, either completely or approved at reasonable terms.
In early January, during the final days of the Biden administration, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a federal consumer watchdog, announced new regulations barring medical debt from credit reports, set to take effect March 17th. But right now, the future of the Bureau and that new regulation is uncertain. After President Trump took office for his second term, the CFPB workforce in February was ordered to stop working by Acting Director Russ Vought. Financial coach Maureen Paley says there's also concern this new rule could be reversed.
They can remove that order, which would, again, be a burden. We would bring the burden back to the consumers and the everyday Americans that incur this medical debt and have a hard time getting out of it. And it would benefit those organizations that benefit from folks being in those debts.
Paley also says medical debt is the cause of 60% of bankruptcies. This new regulation could open new doors to people struggling with medical debt. The change is estimated to raise credit scores by an average of 20 points or so for millions of Americans. Put that in perspective for us. What impacts could 20 points have?
20 points can save you tens of thousands of dollars. A 20-point difference on your credit score could be the difference between you getting financing at an exorbitant high interest cost or one at a more moderate interest cost. It could also be the difference between you getting approved at all.
For now, the CFPB website is back up and running after a brief shutdown last month that coincided with the stop work order. And the consumer complaint database is still online, but there may be no one available to take those complaints or to help. Do you have any advice for people on how to manage their medical debt?
One thing that I would suggest is call the entity that's issuing the debt and understand, number one, where it came from.
Get the details of the charge and call the provider for charity care to try to get the debt reduced. You can also ask them to negotiate the debt.